Yeah, I'm curious. Do primates have wisdom teeth? I would guess not. They have a completely different like dental profile, right? But okay, so we just went live and are live now on the YouTube and the Twitter. Um, Let me update the titles actually. Cool. Updated the title there. And updated the title for Twitch as well. Apparently so. A third set of molars analogous to wisdom teeth. So yeah, really the wisdom teeth thing is just a product of like our jaws shrinking, I guess, right? But okay, so we are live on Twitter and YouTube. The plan for today is Schemathesis. The thing we're using to test our OpenAPI spec is finding a bunch of stuff we need to fix, right? Things like missing error responses in the spec, among other things. It's testing for like put versus patch, and we got to figure out why our put changes didn't take effect. And then, so yeah, we're going to keep hammering on whatever Schemathesis finds for us. We also need to keep noodling on some of the UI stuff for Gitbench, right? Like, I fixed a thing yesterday that I'm really proud of, and we'll just show it off. Why not? Let's get into it. So in the token usage thing, right? I fixed the layout on how like the in, out, and reasoning are shown, and we even shout out things that like where the reporting failed us. So on some of the models, right, like this one, 10 cent like provided an inaccurate result of like how much reasoning it used for a none reasoning thing. Now, the fact that it still uses reasoning at none is interesting, but it is massively less than the amount of reasoning used, you know, for like high, extra high, even low, right? So, yeah, like the fact that it's reporting more reasoning above like the 3K that it theoretically used on the output, there's definitely something weird going on with that. And some other models mess that up too, but it's a little more rare, which is good. So yeah, that one messes it up. This one, right? Trinity large thinking massively like over reports on the reasoning used, right? Because reasoning is lumped into output. How could it be like, how could the reasoning value be higher than the output value? That's just weird. So the way they report that value to us is broken. But it's not OpenRouter's fault. They're just proxying the data, and Archie is giving us a weird result there. But this whole thing is way better than it used to be. It used to be just like this long blob of text that was hard to read. So yeah, that was the thing that I fixed last night. Yeah, I feel good about it. I think it looks pretty good. Um, what we should do is let me pull down some of that. I do need to get that folder going. And yeah, we need to just like get a clanker clanking on that stuff. All right, so then from here, get bench. Yep. And then in here we need to pull. Hold on, let me look at the remotes. Cool. All right, so we pull in the latest updates. Interesting that Git doesn't cache that stuff, but makes sense. Dating files does take a little minute. Let's get more music going. I forgot to refresh the Twitter chat, so let me do that. Just in case someone chats over there. It's rare, but it happens. Okay, cool. So we got that going. Get another tab in here as well. That is one of my favorite features of Ghosty. The fact that it pops open, like when you hit Apple, like Apple T or whatever. Oh, that's fun. Apple T. Bone Apple T. When you hit Apple T to open a new tab, it actually does it in the folder that you're in. I love that fucking feature. That's typically what I want to do most times when I'm popping open a new tab. yeah. Have you ever seen that Reddit? There's a subreddit called Bone Apple Tea that's like people spelling, like certain words like totally wrong because of, just phonetics, which I think is totally valid. If you understood what they meant, then it's fine, right? But there's also a good version of that from anyone here watch Boardwalk Empire? There's a bit where Bobby Cannavale's character, who's like some new gangster in like season 4 or something like that. And I don't think it doxes much, but he says Bone Fortuna, right? Obviously, I think you know where it's going, right? Which is like good fortune in like the Italian, right? And then the main character says Bone Fortuna, right? In like an American accent. And it sounds very much like bone Fortuna, right? Like, okay, why are you giving bones to tuna? Like, I don't know. It's just funny. I don't think they even make jokes like that, but there is like a plot piece kind of centered around it, but not anything super important. And honestly, the series kind of falls off by that season anyway. First season's fucking amazing, but I think either second or third season is when the writer's strike hit, and they got fucked by the writer's strike. They also got fucked by the guy that plays the Commodore. He ended up having a stroke, so he kind of like, yeah, they had to like rewrite his character a bit too. I forget his name. Dabney Coleman. That's it. But I don't think that doxes anything. I don't think that like spoils much. I think it's still worth watching because you get invested in the characters, Yeah. First season's fucking amazing. First season is epic. I don't like doing spoilers though, so I don't think that spoils much. But let's get more music going. And yeah, it's getting warm already. We may have to ditch the beanie. We're talking about Boardwalk Empire. And yeah, how's it going, Frank? Yeah, already 85 degrees in here. I feel like Manny in the heat wave episode. It can't get above 90 degrees or whatever. What happens when it gets above 90 degrees? Oh, you don't want to know. What's wrong with him? Blaine syndrome. But all right, so I need y'all's help, right? Click into here and let me know if there's some like UI stuff I need to fix. You know? It's 90 degrees Fahrenheit and the air is heavy. Yep. Sounds about right. And I forget where you're at. Toronto or Montreal? Montreal. Damn it. There's only 3 cities in Canada. I'm kidding, by the way. But barely. I had a third of a chance of being right. So yeah, like is there anything that like jumps out to you? I think the cost per full run. And let me start taking notes here. All right, so we kept that open at least. I'm just going to keep some notes. All right, so the main idea here is all right, so yeah, that's what I want to do as one thing, right? We're going to flip the cost, the time, yeah, cost, time, and token usage charts. Any other stuff you guys can see, like as you navigate around, that would be worthwhile? That one seems okay to me. We see best in here, but maybe adding like an average would be worthwhile. Ooh, hold on. Let me see what you mean. Where should it come from then? Should it just pop up? Like maybe like increase in size, or just pop up and then we just animate from where it is, right? Do you think that's a good fix? I like that. Okay. Let me double check one thing. Sorry, a coworker reached out about something. I want to make sure it's the same person. Oh, nope. Okay. I wouldn't call it a middleware, but it is like a validation tool. Yeah, sorry, one second, Gouda. We do have an unban request. Hold on. I should evaluate that. If I am so strict and quick to ban, I should be quick to unban. So give me just one sec. Let me look at that. No, no, that's not a sincere unban request. So deny. I don't know if people realize they only get one. That's why Granick has had to create like 7 accounts. All right, we got another one hanging in there. I'm not so sure about that one. All right, so back to it. It's like a fuzzer or whatever that term is for testing binaries with random inputs. Yeah, a little bit. Like it does a bunch of fuzzing. And here, let me show you one of the things it found. Let's just get down to the bottom there. That's not what I want to do. Yes, in here, one of the things it found was like we're getting a 404 instead of a 405 for our put requests. I thought we fixed something about that. So we're gonna have to look into why that's still failing. But yeah, let me finish making notes here. That is not what we want. Best should show the best model. We should also show worst. And maybe average score. And then the quadrant flies in from off screen. It should fade in. Maybe not fade in. I think just pop in is fine. Yeah, I like that one. You've never seen that for APIs? Interesting. Yeah, in the past I've used Dread.js. I even have a YouTube video about using it. But Dread.js is more of like almost like more of like an integration test. So we may end up still needing to use Dread for integration testing of like making sure the API is creating and functioning the way we expect. I think the fuzzer should be able to get most of it, but there's probably going to be some like other things we want to verify. Right? Just for like stateful things of like, well, create this one thing and then modify it. Right? I think, or I feel like Schemathesis should have some of that, but I'm not positive. So the problem with Dread is that it hasn't been updated in ages, and its OpenAPI 3 support is still experimental after like 8 years or something, you know? Not quite 8, but yeah. So ideally, you know, we'd have to maybe like fork it and update it, which is fine. Okay, so yeah, that was a good bit of feedback there. Yeah, updating Dread. Yeah. Yeah, I think it'd be cool. All right, so that's another thing we want to fix. I almost feel like the comparison page needs work. We like the thing for this comparison page, we might want to collect feedback in some way. And what's cover Nando? I mean, Dever Alive Nando, I believe, right? Just making sure I'm remembering that it's you. And if it's someone else, my bad for mixing you up. Doing well? Perfect. Want to hear a fun fact? Well, Nico, thank you for asking instead of just spamming us with it. So, yes, sure. I'll accept a fun fact. You already had it going, huh? And Nico, I believe that's the case because for C, they were doing a direct ASCII translation, right? Whereas C++ supports like other character sets or other like character encodings, I should say. Fun fact, my dad and I have had so many arguments about character encoding. He's an EBCDIC man because he's a mainframe guy. And I think it's the most ridiculous thing to have an argument about. But if you engage him at all about it not mattering, boom, you're in it for at least 10 minutes. So basically, just don't take the bait when arguing with my dad. Just don't even acknowledge ASCII versus EBCDIC because it doesn't fucking matter. Like, dude. Yeah, and like really, the only main difference is ASCII is like sequentially ordered, like A through Z style, right? So like I forget the exact numbers, but let's just assume A is 1, B would be 2. EBCDIC is actually mapped out a different way. And I forget like the justification for why. I forget like the exact mapping and why they did it that way, but yeah. Something stupid, you know? But whatever. I feel like it has something to do with hex. Like basically, the alphabet has like gaps in EBCDIC. They're both 128, right? Like as a maximum number, right? Or technically 127 because it's zero based. but it's just like which number associates with which letter or character, I should say. Okay, so I think we got enough to like kick off a bunch of junk. So what we want to do now is, yeah, we got some updates to Kepler. So we're gonna mess and fiddle with that. If you're not aware of Kepler, and let me double check. Yeah, we do have like the rel CM griffing. Let me do this. Let me just share this with work. Punch cards. Yes, it was punch card based. That's right. That's right. Thank you. Yes, punch cards. I knew it was something like fucking ancient. You know, like, dude. Thank you. Thanks for looking that up. It was punch cards. And I believe punch cards were hexadecimal, right? So technically my hunch on it being hex actually makes sense, right? Because I believe the punch cards were laid out like 8 by 8. I could be wrong on that. One second. Okay. So we're going to add a thing. We're going to do it for get bench. We're going to do it from origin main. Yep. We're going to push to mine, though. And all right, so let's start naming tasks. And let me double check this. So we're going to be using 5, 6 soul medium. Yeah, I think so. Because we'll just use like the Olama GLM subscription for the Masijo like changes if we need to do like bulk stuff, right? So if everyone is curious, we had things where we needed to go through to like all of our controllers and add things like oh, hold on, it's going to be higher up into here. Right. Hold on. Right, like adding bad request and unprocessable entity kind of things here. So when we're doing some of that bulk stuff, GLM is really good and fine for it. So we don't need to burn codex tokens. That's the basic gist there. And let me double check. How many resets have I banked with codex? I've got 2 usage limit resets too. So yeah, we're good. We are good. Do we have an update to do? We do. And actually, hold on. Give me a second. I've been chugging the water because it's hot out. I have to use the restroom. Give me just one moment. All right. Really, John? That's funny. That's funny. Yeah, I typically don't use a skill for scaffolding astrocytes. Like I'll just prompt it. Some skills are really good, but yeah, like that web design skill you're talking about. Hold on, was that one by Vercel? Or is it one of the built-in ones? Oh, got it. Oh, and because Soul is so aggressive at skill calling, yeah, that's the problem. So you didn't even do it yourself. It did it itself. That's annoying. Is it? Oh, it's one of the built-ins too. Well, I mean, the nice part is you can run codecs inside of Pi. Right? You can use the codecs models in Pi. Might be worth doing that just so you don't get burned. Like in the future, just as a thought. They're not dicks about it like Anthropic. Like they'll let you use codecs anywhere you want, or not codecs, but GPT. Yeah, Pi or OpenCode, either one. Hell, they'll even let you call codecs from Claude, from Claude CLI. They don't give a shit. I know Theo's been tweeting about that a bunch. All right, so we want to kick off a bunch of tasks. This one, and yeah, let me just drag Gitbench over to here since we're going to be doing all this together. Reverse order of some charts. And then here we want to do something like, oh, what we'll do here is reverse order of some charts. Yeah, we'll just leave that. So we're going to do the codex. We're going to do prepare task. And then here we can set, nope, that's not what I wanted. Did I say reverse? You had me for a second, Dan. I thought I actually typed reverse. Maybe I did, but I think it's fine. The model knew what I wanted. All right, so this is going to be VENV. All right, and then the VENV command is Python 3. That's it. Reverse? Maybe. I don't know. And then, wait, what's the other way to do it? It's like source something. That's it. Source VENV bin activate. And we run that on work tree creation. So then, at least for this one, we can run this command because we got to do it. We'll assume it's in there. Sure. All right, and then this part. And are on the left instead of right. So then here, and that is an annoying bug. I think I'm gonna try and fix that myself because I don't know if anyone from work is experiencing that one. Let's put on an album we haven't heard. Okay, so then there it is. We can do /$. That probably would have even worked elsewhere. All right, so we'll kick that one off. So this is Kepler by Gitkraken. So this is something that we just created, right? It's kind of like Coder, kind of like Conductor, kind of like T3 code, but it's our own take on it. And I think the killer feature that I'm not going to be able to use much is if we wanted to create a new issue, you can start from, or create a new task or whatever, you can start that task from issues or pull requests. So if you wanted to do a pull request, you might select one. And then from here, are you addressing feedback or are you doing a review? Right? So like it's more geared towards like how like professionals like work with software, not necessarily vibe coders. But there's still totally like the start task thing for just kicking stuff off. And actually, sure. Damn, that was fast. Yeah, it's pretty good. It's brand new. There will be bugs. If you do run into issues, feel free to report them here, or you could just go create an issue on the public GitHub board. But yeah, I mean, you'd be doing me a favor if you try it out, especially if you click into it using that link. And that goes for everyone. All right, so yeah, we're going to create another task. This one is going to be something like that. All right, so if we have multiple models with the same scores, we should show a count instead of model. We should also add an average score value, ditch the fixture count. Well, I don't know if we should ignore our 0 values. Yeah, okay. So I think that's a good one. And then this one. Yeah, I gotta fix that zoom bug. So yeah, we'll create another one here. This one will be new work tree. The quadrant tooltip flies in from off screen. It should pop in place and then just animate to the next place, to the next location if another model is covered. And this is going to be quadrant tooltip animate infix quadrant. All right, so, and here's something fun. We can look at it as a Kanban board. So we're doing exploration here. We've got fix relevant facts links. You know, we don't necessarily care about that. Let's just do only the get bench stuff for now. And then bam. Yeah, so we've got this one. Right, and we don't really have too much going, so what we might want to do is just look at the console view, where we just got all of them going. All right, so then here, and I'm still like fiddling with this a bit. All right, so then this one had some questions. All right, so those are kicking and cool. So yeah, dude, that feels pretty good already. I think if we tried to get all 5 going, that would be a little bit too much for me. So we'll let that just kick for the moment. Now, let's do some Masijo stuff. All right, so why do we think it's still saying unsupported methods here, right? Unsupported method put returned 404. I'm going to do codex here just as like a quick thing. Oh, hold on. Wait, no. We'll do codex in this window. So this one we'll just fiddle with ourselves. Okay, there we go. So yeah. Let me just run this one more time. We'll build the Open API spec again. Let's do the UVX thing. All right, while that's running, let's look at this stuff. 2 of them are waiting for input. All right, so recommended, right? If it's closed, first hover, position immediately, pop content in place, open warm. When open warm, hover another point, animate transform from old point to new point. Inactive pass, short grace window, reset. Next hover is a fresh in place pop. Yep. Oh, I forgot this album does that. I hate those. Create the proposal. This one's also ready for an implementation. We'll apply a change. Oh, that one's weird that it goes like full width like that. So hold on, let me pass on that feedback in console view. Uh, okay, so yeah, that's a bit weird. The fact that it does that full width thing. I think that's just a bug. So they'll get that fixed. And then yeah, this goes fine at that. Yep, sure, go for it. This one, we want to do the same thing. Do a session. And actually, hold on. That feedback I can pass. Share. AirDrop. Saves downloads. Okay. Yeah, yeah, exactly, Jesta. Yep. I refuse to put a song like that on my driving mix. I flat out just refuse. This is a nice way of working with this too. Right? By doing apply change and doing like the OpenSpec stuff in these individual work trees, we like don't have any other active open specs. So we don't have to like juggle any of that stuff. It knows exactly like, hey, there's only one spec, so it just kicks them off, which is kind of nice. All right, so yeah, we got all three of those churning. Nice. Let me check this now. How's our usage? We've only used 10%. Oh, it's the weekly limit, though. So we're going to have to use a reset for sure. We're going to have to use a reset for sure. But, yeah, this is feeling pretty good. All right, so then, yeah, in here, I just wanted to verify. And let's just do a quick exploration of this, because something's weird. We are running fuzz testing over the API. I'm getting these results. I wish we could expand it. And yeah, what's everyone up to while we're waiting on these clankers? Oh, looks like one possibly finished. Let's switch back to list view because I want to look at changes here. So the one that we're waiting on is this. Oh, and it looks like it abstracted that. So let's just double check. Build benchmark card summary. Oh, okay. Nah, that's probably better code. Yeah, I like that. Looks cleaner to me. Oh, this is the bench. Okay. Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, totally like it. Yeah, yeah, yeah. We're gonna add this and this and that and that. And then let's do a quick thing here. So, right, we activate the env, and then docs API. No, I think it's dev API. And hold on. This is this page's stuff. Not quite. One second. I need to add someone to our ambassador channel. Cool. All right. So yeah, ignore the reasoning efforts, just the model stuff. Sure, sure. How's this one doing? Verifying and still implementing. Okay. Yep. So those are kicking. Uh, sure. We'll let it do that. Whew. It is warm. Let's get another album going. All right, so while that's going, let's look at some of this other stuff. Oh, so this is an interesting one. Hmm. Hmm. Right, so what it's trying to do is use IDs that are not actually valid. So I think maybe that's something we want to turn the clanker loose on. Interesting. Mine just pops. Let's just Google check this one. So yeah, Brainless, are you out there? I got a question for you. Oh, interesting. Oh. Feel like this looks okay. Yeah. And hey, what's up, Caleb? How you doing? Mr. Sir? Yeah, what you up to? Okay, yeah, I think I like this. Method not allowed controller. You worked from home and did some tidying up. It's your birthday tomorrow, but don't have anything planned? Dude, happy birthday, though. Hell yeah, man. Hmm. I mean, you're probably going to get like some meal that you really like, right? What would you do for like a birthday meal? You have any thoughts on that? Probably get some fish and chips. Ooh, do you have like a favorite fish and chips place where you're at? And you do the minted peas or whatever, right? Like the mushy peas as like a thing on the chips. Maybe not minted, but at least like mushed. Place not too far from the office. The chips in Jersey are the best. Probably not New Jersey. Mushy peas are a must. Okay. I like fish and chips. I do not like mushy peas. Old Jersey. Ah. Yeah, probably a bit far to fly just for that. Um, You never know, though, right? Maybe someone at work's planning something. I'm not sure how your office works with that stuff. They can vary in quality. Ah, okay. When done well, you enjoy dipping your chips into them. When done poorly, you'd be better using cement. Yeah, I mean, I thought they always like put it on top of the fries or the chips or whatever. I didn't realize that they put them in like a thing to dip. I thought it was like poutine, where they just like throw it all on top. It's often as a side in the UK, otherwise the chips get soggy. That makes sense. Yeah, good call. Okay, so we got 82 failures, 7 errors. If we... Oh, wait, hold on. Oh, actually, no, we should be able to just run this. So 82 and 7. Let's see if it fixes it. Or at least some of it. I don't know what this song reminds me of. I don't know. It reminds me of some like video game or something. 82 failures, 9 errors. What? Ooh, and hold on. I must have missed that one. Let me double check. Do we have recursive definitions under control for my specs now? I'm trying to remember. What were the recursive definitions? Something we were dealing with yesterday, right? Do you mean redundant definitions? I'm trying to remember the recursive part. Oh, yeah. No, we actually realized we didn't need to do that recursion. We have examples already in our schemas, right? So we can just use those examples, as an example, right? Boom, we have examples right in there. We can just use those. Like, I don't know why I didn't think of that. The main reason is like what we copied from in my other project, we didn't have examples. So we had to like fudge it. Whereas here we can just use these directly. So yeah, we didn't even need to use the clanker to do that. I think we did use it to just like fix it and use the stuff. But yeah, so we have started using LLMs a bit on our back end. I'm not having it do like giant features and stuff, but we are doing like fixes. And then hold on, while we got these going, looks like at least this one is done. This one has a question for us. Um, always. Not sure why it thinks it needs to do that. All right, so then back to this one. All right, let's relaunch that. And let's double check this part. So this one is fixing this page. Let me double check one thing here. Let me pass this. And yeah, I can do that part later. Yeah, because it's late for one of the coworkers. He wouldn't see it until then. Anyway, so yeah, we'll set it up for maybe Thursday. Cool. Okay. So that thing's churning. This one. And yeah, let's do these one by one. So we'll get this going. We'll do dev API. So we're going to be on 3001. And this one is for the quadrant chart. No. So yeah, clanker be clanking, but not doing it right. Oh, and why the fuck is this on 5.5? Oh, god damn it. Well, that would be part of the problem, I bet. Piece of shit. I think it needs to look up my settings. Yeah, all right. All right, so then this one, again, 5.5 extra high. I don't care if we burn the cache. It's worth it. All right, so for this one, this is reverse chart order. This one should be pretty straightforward. But let me get more music on. All right, so we're in web, pnpm dev API. That one's from the left. That one's from the left. From the left. Perfect. Yep, so at least that one cooked. Yes, absolutely 3D factor. The fact that there was already a feature flag built in for it is kind of insane. Right? Like they knew they were going to be doing something wrong and they built in a kill switch just in case people caught them. That's what it feels like. You know? Like, I don't understand how anyone could ever trust the Grok model for anything proprietary ever again. Yeah, I don't even believe that they deleted that shit. They just backed it up to a different server or a different bucket. Yeah. It's ridiculous, the people that would totally believe them, though. I'm not actually sure how many people would actually believe them. I just think there's enough bots to like sow like doubt, right? I think they've got enough like bots and bullshit going that they're totally fucking like manipulating public perception a bit. All right, so this is fix reverse order of reverse order within remaining bar chart. Oh yeah, you got to watch your phrasing though, right? Open AI harness? No, I mean, I think you mean open source AI harnesses, right? Open AI just fucking us with their naming again. Yep. I guess that's the thing. Does Grok were people using the Grok CLI or the Grok app? Or was this through the Cursor CLI? And honestly, like, I don't know. Do you really think it prevents the harness from doing it? What prevents them from just injecting like a prompt and like somehow like I guess they couldn't hide it at least. They used Grok build. Okay. Yeah, I guess that's the thing. Like if you used open code or Pi, you'd at least like see maybe like a poisoned API response, you know, or a poisoned like LLM response. So it'd be a lot harder to hide it. But yeah, nothing prevents them from just instructing the agent, right? Like doing some prompt injection to do the same thing, right? Hey, what's up, G4? Yeah, man. How you doing? Yeah, how was your train ride home? And yeah, I had the whiskey in me. It was a good night though. Yeah, that was fun. And thanks again for the Prime sub, dude. Yeah, I appreciate that. Yeah, exactly 3D factor. Yeah, I totally get that. But again, like, sure, you don't use the Grok build, but what prevents them from like trying to do some prompt injection to do the scraping? It was a long ride. Yeah, you were going like really far south, right? I think you said Tequila? I did have the whiskey in me though, so I may have forgotten. And you don't have to dox that. Sorry. Yeah. Not trying to make you dox anything. In fact, I'm sorry for even saying it. Oh, okay. Got it. Yep. Yes, that's still a bit. Oh, I think that's farther, isn't it? I don't remember. I don't remember how far it actually goes. I don't think it's quite as far as Tequila. Right? Like feds between Seattle and SeaTac. And no, I get that 3D factor, but they would if they wanted everything, right? So the idea is that like they combed 5 GB worth of a 12 gig repo when only 192K was needed. If they wanted to get all of that, they could by doing prompt injection. But again, why would they burn that bridge? I don't know. Why would they burn the bridge already? Oh, it's a couple stops after SeaTac. Okay. For some reason, I thought it stopped at SeaTac. Okay. Yeah, I've never taken the light rail to SeaTac before. Like these days, for the most part, if I'm going to the airport, it's probably a business expense. So I can just have the company reimburse. So I can have them pay for the parking or I can have them pay for the Uber. But yeah, sure. Archive. And what changes this? Reverse order chain. Order. What's the name of this one? Of some charts. All right, so we'll push that up. You've been practicing Python on DataCamp. Do I have any tips for someone? Oh, and hold on. We could play that song in a minute, Granick. Yeah, we'll do it after this album. But hold on. Let me read your message. Okay, so you've been practicing Python on DataCamp. Do I have any tips for someone trying to learn how to code that's not in school? Yeah. So there's a couple places. There is 100 devs. I don't know if they have a cohort going right now. But yeah, they got their like Learn to Code Academy thing. Put on by Leon Noel, and he is the man. I don't know if they're having a cohort, but they do have a like a Discord channel or whatever, like server. So it's at least like with a group of people that are all trying to do something similar, right? You know, they focus a lot more on maybe like JavaScript or other languages, but at the end of the day, just having a bunch of people that you can learn with, like collaborative, you can help keep each other accountable. So that becomes really valuable. There's another site, or does anyone know what Danny Thompson's Discord server is? Let me hold on. I think I can just grab it. Yeah, 1 second. Let me just grab it. Um, Commit your code. Invite to server. Copy button. There we go. So yeah, let me just paste this in chat. Yeah, so that's another really good kind of like people trying to break into the category kind of chat. Right, Commit Your Code is the name of the server. They put on a conference called Commit Your Code Conference that is fun. I'm going to be speaking at that. It's down in Texas, so it's probably not worth flying down for just for that. But if you end up, wanting to go down to that area anyway in September, it could be worth it. And it's only a $40 ticket. But also, it's a free virtual conference you can attend to if you want to do it that way. So I don't know, just staying hungry and keeping building stuff is important. I think that's the big thing. And then, yeah, there used to be some really good like data science streams. Like there was Nikwan, but he stopped streaming tech, so it's a little tougher that way. But those are at least two good communities. And take it easy, Granick. Try not to spam us. We're having a conversation here, man. And then there's always like free code camp. Free code camp's awesome. It's just a set of like courses online. So, learning about relational databases, etc. Odin Project's another good one. But yeah, so G4. The big thing though is like commit your code, and like Danny Thompson, the guy who runs it, he is very much like inspired to like help out. Like he will hype you up. Like when you get your first job, he will like blast his entire socials like he got the job or whatever, right? Like yeah, it's a really really good community. Yeah, for sure, G4. And I do want to say, I stream 5 days a week. I'm always just building, working on my stuff. It's kind of nice just to like, if you're at home and you kind of just want that vibe of like co-working with someone, that's kind of what this stream's mainly for. It's not a teaching stream. We're just hanging out, like working, chatting together. And because just the nature of coding in general, right? Like you're going to learn stuff by proxy anyway, right? Like we talk about code, and the more you talk about code, the more you internalize it. So, yeah, you get to see the way I work a little bit. Today we're doing a bunch of like kind of like AI stuff, so it's less relevant. Um but yeah, I build side projects here on stream. And then yeah, roadmaps. That's another good one. And just for a little bit of inspiration, maybe, let me just point out I've been on the Roadmaps podcast and the Free Code Camp podcast, basically talking about how I got into tech. I spent 10 years out of high school as a snowboard bum. There was 1 year where my tax return had 12 grand on it, you know? And it was the best time of my life. So yeah, breaking into tech is totally a thing you can do. Now, keep in mind, this was 2002 to 2012 when I was a snowboard bum. The industry has changed, but yeah, it's just about putting in the work. I think the biggest thing to remember is that there's no such thing as a shortcut, right? Any shortcuts just become the way. And yeah, that's a good point, 3D factor. Yeah, having like AI explain things to you, don't have it do it for you, but have it explain things, that's huge. That's really valuable. And then I may have missed a comment there. So yeah, 3D factor, you wouldn't put it past human error? I would. I don't know. I 1000% believe it's easier to ask forgiveness than permission situation. I do not think it was human error. I think it was calculated. And yeah, G4, if you're missing the context we're talking about, basically there's the whole thing of like Grok, like the AI Elon bullshit. Grok build was taking entire code bases, uploading it to Grok servers, and like dumping it into their bucket. Right? There is at least some benefit of the doubt, like, oh, they were just doing it for like bug tracing or something. But I don't know. I don't think they deserve the benefit of the doubt for something that terrible. I personally think they probably did it on purpose. Why else would they have the flag built in, right? To turn it off. That shows foresight right there. G-Fort. We don't typically like those kind of questions, but we'll allow it. It's just normally I would be a little harsher about it for someone brand new with no context or whatever. It's a question we get asked way too much. I don't know, man. I can't really help you with it. Like that's a decision you just got to make yourself. I think that's the best way to look at it. I would say get into coding if you want to build stuff. Getting a job is increasingly hard for juniors. I think at some point that may change, right? When the bubble bursts or whatever, it's going to be cheaper to hire juniors than to pay the AI bills, right? But until that bubble bursts, it's tougher to get that first job. But let me put it this way. If you do put in the effort and become good enough at coding that, someone's willing to give you a chance when the bubble bursts, you need to do that when the bubble does burst, right? You need to be ready at that moment. You can't just start when the bubble does burst because that's what everyone else is going to do eventually anyway. So then you're just going to hit the same stampeding herd problem, right? Of just like everyone doing it again. So in my opinion, like it's not worth trying to predict the future of it. Do it because you enjoy it. Do it because you want to build things. And if you don't, well then, yeah, nothing wrong with recognizing that. All right, so let's continue with some of this. So yeah, we archived that and we pushed it. That is now up there and synced, and we can move on to these others that look like they may be stalled. No, Granick, I'll play it when the album's over. Deal with it. Granick, you're running into the same stuff that's gotten you banned before, man. No, I literally said the word album. All right. And yeah, no worries, G for it. Yeah, you're good, man. You're good. I mean, social media sucks, right? Like, you can't believe anything social media is telling us, right? Dead internet theory, fucking paid shills, people who think they're smarter than they are. You know, it's just, you just can't believe what's happening on social media about any of this stuff. Software. US market almost closed for you as a non US citizen. Yeah. Yeah, there was that, what was it, Section 518 issue or whatever, where basically companies were no longer allowed to write off their, uh, like their research and development investment, like in the current fiscal year. So they had to like then amortize that cost over 5 years, and then like for foreign or non-citizens, they had to amortize that cost over 10 years. So only the biggest companies can afford to hire non-citizens at this point. So yeah, that one's tough there, software. All right, so this one now is stopped. And this is the benchmark index improvements. But, I could have sworn we switched that. Same problem, software. It comes out of the research and development budget, and research and development has to amortize that cost. It's the exact same thing. Whether you're an employee or a contractor, it's still coming out of the same basic like expense budgeting, right? So because of that, any company that wants to hire a non-citizen has to amortize that cost over 10 years. They can't just write it off during that same year. So that really messes with how profitability works for a lot of startups and companies like that. Does that make sense? I might not be explaining it well. And then hold on. One second. Do, do. All right, so yeah, roadmaps is good. It at least like tells you stuff that you want to like start learning about and like move into. You don't necessarily need to do like a 100% of it, but yeah, there's a lot of stuff to just like learn and fiddle with. So that one's still messing up. This one thinks it's done. Hey, that one cooked. Nice. So yeah, just once again, for anyone out there, please, if you got a chance, we need your feedback about the tool I'm using called Kepler. It's a thing from GitKraken. If you run into issues or bugs, right, we got a feedback form, right? Feedback, bug report, feature request, etc. And at least for now, all you need is a GitKraken account. And like, you know, that's about it. You don't even necessarily need the integrations, though a GitHub integration will help. And yeah, like, you know, give it a shot. Let us know how you like it. Things that are no good, things that you want to see improved, whatever. And please use that link just so I get the credit for sending people to it. It's not like there's any money involved, but we just like, just for tracking so we can understand where traffic is coming from, etc. Just analytics BS. All right, so this one nailed it. Um, Chat GPT is down? I mean, GPT 5.6 via Codex is working. But yeah, you know, like, they're vibe coding. What do you expect? What were you expecting? The web portal is dead. Interesting. Oh, they got an incident going right now, huh? Interesting. Yeah, that's no good. Yeah, that's definitely no good. Um, Give me a second though. Let's at least confirm this one. And then while that's burning, let me go use the restroom real quick. And I'm going to rinse out my whiskey glass and we're going to pour a whiskey. Alrighty. Yeah, what's everyone up to? Any fun plans for the week or upcoming weekend? Okay. Oh yeah, and let me check some of this. A few of y'all responded. Okay, so Dev J. Going to an open mic tonight, gonna play some guitar. Nice. Like acoustic style? Or you just like shredding like Buckethead or some other kind of style? Like what kind of music? How about that? That's easier to answer. And then, hold on, 3D Factor, 2-week fishing trip in the wild? Nice. You don't need to dox where, but like what kind of fish are you like aiming for? Like a place with a lot of like trout? I don't know, is Steelhead running right now? I forget where you're from. I feel like you've said before and I forgot. And then Caleb, you got D&D tomorrow, and we'll be playing board games on Friday. Might also meet up with some friends on Thursday. So you're gonna do a birthday D&D session. That's fun. Hell yeah, dude. Is it also your character's birthday? Acoustic stuff. You made a medley of 2 songs which you're keen to try and play live. Nice. DevJ, have you been here when I played acoustic on stream? You did a level up at the end of last session, so kind of. Yeah, there you go. This whiskey is not the best sipping whiskey. It's the Rebel 100. But it is pretty good once you add a bunch of water. And damn, level 17, dude. That's crazy. How long has that session been going? Oh, DevJ, yeah, the recording stuff. Yeah, that's with like, yeah, like none of the acoustic stuff I play is actually recorded. Yeah, DevJ, maybe hop in here on like Friday or Saturday, and all you got to do is ask. Normally, we require channel points for it. In fact, we may have some whales out there in chat that that would donate channel points for it. And no whales in chat, please. Not right now. We've got like an hour and a half left or so. I'd like to, keep chatting and then coding. I don't want to interrupt it with the guitar at the moment. So yeah, on Friday or Saturday, just let me know. Oh yeah, no worries, Caleb. But we do have people here in chat that have like over 1 million channel points banked. Come on, Wales. Who here has more than 1 million channel points? I'm just curious. I bet there's a few of you. So Kenny, you've only got 400k. Interesting. All right. All right. You must not be clicking the button for the extras every time it comes up. Yeah, no worries. And then hold on. Yeah, 3D factors. So Lithuania, and you keep telling me this, and I keep forgetting, man. Like usually I pride myself on my memory, and I keep forgetting. I feel like it's just one of those things that well, I mean, I've probably had the whiskey in me. But then also, I don't know. I don't think I ask often enough to like cement it as a memory. But yeah, I'll try and remember that. I'm sorry for forgetting. So you're going to an uninhabited island in the middle of the lake. You go every year. Tents, rubber boats, fishing rods, and lots of rum. There you go. And you mostly catch bream, redfish, perch, and sometimes pike. Okay. I feel like I only know bream, and I only know bream because of the game Dave the Diver. I'm pretty sure I only know about bream because of Dave the Diver. Okay, yeah, I like this. Uh, we're just gonna do this part by hand real quick because it's easy enough. Um, and hold on. So now, Granick, if you're out there, I think you know what time it is, right? Does Synthwave belong in a museum? Junior? I'm gonna find it first. Here we go. All right, so yeah, we see best worst. Name of the model is fine. Yeah, we want to move the average up next to the label. So let's just do that by hand. That's easy enough. We got to look at which page that is. I believe it's just benchmarks, index. So then on this page, for each one, we do this stuff. And we see... Oh, shit. Hold on. So I guess that's the tricky part. Yeah, we'll just do this for now. Yeah, using the work trees, we had a totally different code base. So yeah, we go pages, benchmarks, index. We'll turn on the Astro dev server. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, no worries. Wrong one. Error breaks. All right, so yeah, we'll do that. This one we committed. We have not pushed yet. So yeah, this one. Oh yeah, for sure, man. As long as I remember. So then here we're going to archive that change. Benchmark index improvement. This is the one where we need to do that. So then we go source, pages, benchmarks, index. And yeah, I know some people might know this answer from previous streams, but when I say air breaks, anyone know the movie? You pretty much got to be a millennial to recognize the film. Dev J, you remember the movie? You feel free to say it if you haven't been here when I've quizzed chat about it before. But I say that shit all the time. It's something my parents say. Like, I come from a big family of like movie quoters. And if someone Googled it, it's fine. I don't mind. Oh, this song. Got it. Oh, yeah. This song's almost like our theme song at this point. Yeah, we'll wrap this one too. It's actually been a while, Kenny. Yeah, I don't think we played this song for weeks, or at least a week. Oh, yep. Yeah, especially 3D Factor because we did the fireworks animation. Eh, yeah, I feel like we did the fireworks animation when Ghosty first released, and we were looking at like setting shaders and stuff. Like I think maybe we did one of the ones that existed, but that was my first, experience messing with shaders and Ghosty. So yeah, like maybe not this past year, but the year before, we definitely did have the fireworks for the shaders. I mean, yeah, you have, Kenny. Maybe you're just saying you haven't been here for a full stream. I could have sworn you've been in this chat sometime in the past week. At least once or twice. Maybe, maybe not. I don't know. Doesn't matter. And then, yeah, what we'll do here is just give it like a... Oh, and it's not class name. Just class. And we'll say ML2. It's 3 a.m. Yeah, I get it, 3D Factor. Yeah. I get it. I get it. No big deal. All right, so... we do need to restart that dev server. And it should be fixed now. All right, so back on 3K. Yes, there we go. So getting the average right there in line with the title, I think makes sense. Yeah, that feels pretty good. Yeah, that feels pretty good. I like that. That's a good fix. Yeah, because that, like, all of them showing 100% has been bugging me. Okay, so I at least want to say, like, I manually moved the average badge next to the benchmark title. Make sure that is reflected in the spec. So, for anyone unaware why I'm doing this, OpenSpec, like, heavily records all this stuff. And in the past, when I've done an archive, it's gone through and been like, oh, hey, I just noticed that this thing isn't actually in line. Let me just fix it again. And it, like, totally undid and, like, regressed a change that I made manually. So we want to make sure that it's in there. Okay. So now it's going to update the OpenSpec thing. Maybe that's annoying, but I actually kind of like the idea that when you do an archive, it validates and verifies things. That's kind of cool, actually. It's just annoying when it's a surprise. And yet again, I'm going to keep shilling Kepler because it's kind of my job. Work at GitKraken. If you guys are curious about this tool I'm using, right, there's the Kanban and the console views and a whole bunch of cool stuff about it, right? If we go to settings, you know, there's a remote access thing that I haven't had a chance to toy with yet. There's, you know, like voice input features, currently using Super Whisper, but I've read that there are maybe better models we could use locally these days. Stuff to try there. But yeah, just in general, there's a lot of really cool features in it. And as far as like the agents that you might be trying to use, it supports Claude Code, Codex, Copilot, Cursor, OpenCode, Augie, and we also then like ship our MCP server with it. And yes, this needs to be updated. That's what I was missing. So boom. All right. So yeah, please try it out. Let's GitKraken Kepler, and we got a link. And if you click that link, it'll help me out a lot. And I'll allow it, Magnus. For some reason, I think the phrase race condition got you flagged by by AutoMod for some reason. But okay, so let me read this. So what do I think of using distributed locks like Redis-based Redlock to prevent race conditions or double spending in a high-throughput microservice architecture, given that system clock drift and garbage collection pauses are mathematically guaranteed to eventually break lock TTLs? I don't necessarily have good I don't have production level like job level experience building backends for that kind of scalability. So just keep that in mind. Take what I say with a grain of salt. I've been a front end like team lead my entire career as like an engineer. That said, I am concerned, and I do back-end stuff here on stream all the time, so, you know, right? It's not like I'm saying this without any context or any experience. It's just, keep in mind, I haven't had to deal with that level of scalability on the job. In my opinion, I think it depends on what you're doing, and I think it depends on where the Redis is hosted, right? You're talking about like within maybe like a VPC on AWS or something, right? If you're doing this within like a single like Hetzner instance, right? Dude, I think you're fine. But at scale, when doing distributed stuff, and I'm pretty sure your question is really about distributed, I think that's tougher. Like, what amount of latency do you consider acceptable? You should be able to get 10 millisecond latency, right? Well, I mean, software, maybe it's mathematically proven as the amount of nodes increases, right? I think that's the right way to think about that. So software, like within a system that has maybe 2 nodes, or, you know, like 2 instances, yeah, it's not mathematically proven. But as the amount of instances increases, it approaches 100%, right? Now, it's probably never going to be fully 100% because it's going to be asymptotic. But as you add more instances and more nodes, like the actual value increases, you know, probably not exponentially, but at least linearly, right? And I technically, when we're talking about asymptotic stuff, well, linear is not technically correct. But I think you know what I mean, at least like within some kind of scale. Like it's so close to linear, you might as well just call it linear. If a lock's lease can expire mid-execution due to a JVM runtime pause, does relying on distributed locks actually solve concurrency, or if it just hides a catastrophic race condition behind a low probability statistical window? My guess is that it's not a 100% thing. Like, I don't think it solves concurrency. Right? At some scale, you're going to have contention, right? I don't think there's a way to avoid that. Right? And typically when you're building systems for that level of scale, you're not looking for a 100%. That's why, you know, 100% uptime just doesn't exist. Granick, I don't think I agree with that. If you're dealing with an enterprise customer, you have like service level agreements that they signed a contract for, right? You need to make sure they are getting that level of support and service. Right? So Granick, you might be thinking about like consumer level applications. We're talking about enterprise level. At enterprise level, there are contracts, right? But I just think no matter what, Magnus, there's never 100% with any of this stuff, right? That's why uptime is never measured at, oh, did you hit 100% uptime? That's statistically impossible. All you can do is get farther and farther towards infinity to getting to that 100. But it's going to be extra 9s. You're never going to get the 100 for a system at scale, right? So that's at least my theory. I don't have experience with using those things, though. So just, you know, take it with a grain of salt. If there's anyone out there that does have experience, like, honestly, Four-Wheel Gator would have some experience with that, but I don't know if they're here in chat right now. I would expect Four-Wheel Gator probably has some insight into that problem. So Like Magnus, maybe keep it in mind and pop back in when you can. Next time we see Four Wheel Gator, pose the question again. Thanks, Magnus. Again, I'm curious about this stuff. I love thinking about it. I love reading about it. I am not the source of truth, but at least, someone to bounce ideas off. So, thanks. I actually think it was a fun question to think about, too. But yeah, the person that I would be reaching out to for this is Four Wheel Gator, one of our mods, and they're just not here right now. So yeah, I would trust their opinion pretty heavily. This right here, yes, I've been cutting down majorly. I mean, I overdid it on 4th of July, right? G4 does. But yeah, I've been trying to cut down a little, right? I'm not trying to get super shitty here on stream too much. It'll happen every once in a while, but it should be every once in a while, not weekly like it has been, right? Oh man, really? I had the whiskey. Oh man, I had the whiskey. Yeah, that was a fun night. Dude, after I saw you, G Fort, I went and stood in line at Dick's for the burgers. They hit a point, and yes, it was after 2 a.m., but they hit a point where they're like, yep, we're out of food. And they just cut the line. That was it. All right, get out. I've never seen that happen at Dick's Burgers. But it was 4th of July, so it does kind of make sense. Now, I'm not sure I actually believe them. That's a separate thing. I think they just wanted to get the fuck out of there. They just kept seeing more and more people come. And this is a bourbon. The bourbon is Rebel 100. It's not amazing. I'm a Four Roses person myself. Like, even just the yellow label is amazing. This is just what they had at Costco. Like, I've got a few, like, Costco whiskeys that I picked a couple of, and they're just not that good. This is one of them. So, yeah, this one, and hold on here. This one's fucking terrible, dude. This George Dickel, like, paired with Leopold Bros. Dude, this shit sucks. Like, dude, I don't think I'll ever finish this because it was so cheap at Costco. It was like $18 after tax. I grabbed 3 of them. This is still the first one. I don't think I'm going to be going through it. I mean, yeah, like, so this Redbreast, Costco sells Redbreast. They sell a bunch of really good whiskeys. This one was fantastic. Dude, this is a really good Irish whiskey. But Old Fitzgerald, like the Four Roses Fancies, like there's a lot of really good stuff that Costco sells, like cheaper than you'll get it pretty much anywhere else. And technically, at least here in Washington State, they have to let you in if you're getting just alcohol. They have to sell you alcohol because that's how their liquor license works. They can't require a membership for just alcohol. So there's a thing about that. I'm not sure how many people at the door know that rule or law, but it is actually like, dude, if they do not allow you into a Washington Costco to purchase alcohol, they're fucking up and they could lose their license. I have not tested that. I do kind of want to test it. Only Irish whiskey you've had is Jameson. Do I suggest something else? I mean, that Redbreast that I just showed is really fucking good. Another, dude, Tullamore Dew is awesome as far as like Irish whiskey goes. And then there's also Hellcat Maggie's, which is pretty solid. And yeah, Rich over on YouTube, great choice on the Redbreast 12. Yeah, it's a really good one. Like, it's super smooth, very sippable, like without any water added or anything. But as far as like Irish whiskeys go, yeah, the Redbreast, Hellcat Maggie, and Tullamore Dew are things that all whiskeys I would go for over Jameson. Jameson's good because it's just everywhere, you know? And most bars get it super cheap. Yeah, no worries, Magnus. Thanks for chilling. And again, maybe come back on like Thursday or Friday and see if Four Wheel's here. He would probably have some really good insight into your problem, into your question. Now, you may be like making your decision anyway, sure, right? Because you got to just like get shit done. But if you're still curious about it, you know, yeah, come on back on Friday or Saturday. Maybe even Thursday, but yeah, I feel like we see Four Wheel more often on like Fridays. And then, okay, so let me double check. Did I miss some chats? Did I miss anything? Reminded you of that South Park episode where he deployed unintentionally a business strategy. Only 10 customers today. Get out. And the business exploded. Yeah, because of FOMO. Yeah. And yeah, your friend got dicks before you went to Cap Hill, and he waited. Y'all waited in line for almost 40 minutes. Holy shit. And the which dicks were you at? Yeah, we'll see, Granick. I mean, tomorrow's a day off, so you're at least safe for tomorrow. You've got about an hour to not fuck it up today. But again, I appreciate subs. I don't expect them, and they don't get you, like, nobody gets preferential behavior because of it. There was a dicks near the Space Needle. Oh, I think I know that location. Yeah, I think I've been there before. Okay, yeah, good call. Yeah, I've totally been there after, like, there's, like, a good brewery nearby. Like, it's, like a German-style, like, hall, like, brewery. Or maybe not even a brewery, just, like, beer hall. Yeah. I've been to that one. I never even think about it being there. I always feel like it's, like, super deep. But, yeah, no, it's, like, totally reasonable. It's just right there. Oh, interesting. The beer hall was closed. Probably for 4th of July or something, right? That makes sense. And then, Rich, are you the only, and technically subs are like a follow on Twitch? I do believe you might be my only membership on YouTube. So yeah, Rich, you're the man. Appreciate you. And then Bottom Shelf Patties? I don't know if I've had Patties Irish whiskey before. Oh, G4. No. Ozzy's is, yeah, Ozzy's is like a karaoke bar. That's a separate one. That's a different one. I'm trying to think. Yeah, the one I'm thinking of is probably Queen Anne Beer Hall. I feel like it had a different name, but that's probably it. Yeah. I was thinking of Queen Anne Beer Hall that I've been to before and then like walked up a couple blocks to like, let me just pop open the map real quick. An iMac? No, this is a Mac Mini. iMac. Do they still make iMacs? All right. Oh, and this is Queen Anne Beer Hall. Dick's Drive-In. Yeah. So just a few blocks away. Yep, that makes sense. Yeah, so I've definitely done that walk before, which then makes sense. Like, yeah, over here on like Republican, you're like right near the Space Needle, kind of somewhere. I think, right? Yeah, Space Needle. Yep. Yeah. Yeah, so I'm thinking of the Queen Anne Beer Hall for sure. But yeah, Ozzy's. I've been to Ozzy's before. I have fond memories of Ozzy's, even though the owners are dickheads. I think they're like totally mega. But yeah, Ozzy's is like a karaoke bar, and it's pretty fun still. They made an M3 iMac? I had no idea. Yeah, I don't know. Better than In and Out. That's a tough one. Eh. Like, there's only like what, two In and Outs in all of Seattle? So they're kind of a pain in the ass. And yeah, Dick's is like just a good local business to support rather than just some giant fucking corporation. So yeah, like, I'll support Dick's any day of the week. And honestly, like, there's something fun about saying like, yeah, just went and got a bag of dicks. It's just funny. Shit. Right? Exactly. Nothing wrong with a bag of dicks. All right, let me get more music going. Give me a sec. We're gonna water down another whiskey and probably call it on that for the whiskey for today. It's a weekday. They still do. Last iMac was an M4. I had no idea. Hmm. But nah, that's just a Mac Mini. Nice and easy. And yeah, Hote 9. Is that GeoHot under like an alias? He wouldn't be asking about a Mac. No, and yeah, I'm just joking. He definitely would not be asking about that. He bans people in his chat for asking about his keyboard, even. He's funny. I don't know if I'd get along with him at all, but every once in a while he's fun to like listen to and watch. Dude, the thing when Twitter got bought, and he's like, he totally thought like, oh, I can fix the search in one day. It's just a front end problem. It was not a front end problem. It was absolutely not a fucking front end problem. That's how little he knows about web dev. The fact that he had the hubris to think, oh, web devs, oh, they're not good at what they do, man. Like, oh, they're just web devs. And then he thought he could just fix it. And then he totally didn't. Like, hopefully that humbled him a bit. I don't think it did, though. But yeah. No worries, G4. Yep. Yeah, we hang out, we chill, and I'm here 5 days a week. I put in 2,000 plus hours a year on this stream, and then 2,000 plus hours a year over on my gaming stream, and then I have a full time job as well. So I basically don't do anything else. So we'll see you again. Azad, what do I think about Claude? Do I think code's manually written or with Claude fastly written? I think there's a time and a place for everything. And if we're going to borrow the quote from South Park, that time and place is college. But no, I do not play Rust the game. Rust is a programming language. And I have made like projects with Rust the programming language. I think maybe I've played Rust on the gaming stream with some people back in the day, but I hate the fact that they wiped the servers. I don't have time to fucking no life a server over 30 days, you know? So yeah, just because of that, even for self-hosted servers, they're gonna wipe that shit. I can't do it. Azad, there are some things that you should probably code by hand. There are some things that you should prompt. The entire job is figuring out which is which. There is no 100% about anything in programming. Yeah, why not both? But yeah, so G-Fort, I do play games over on a different channel. If you ever want to hang out over there, just let me know. That channel is gaming. It's Griffing and Chill. Sometimes we're just hanging out and co-working, which, you know, I'll probably be doing later tonight. I will be playing maybe like 2.5 hours of gaming with some East Coast friends tonight after this stream. The game we're going to play is either For the King 2 or they might try and convince me to download Schedule 1, because I guess that's a game you can play together. I didn't even know. I thought it was single player. But it does sound like a fun game. I just haven't played it yet. But we're probably going to play For the King 2. All right, so I do like how this turned out. I think we're good. We want to get these things committed and pushed up and call it good. I'm going to call it fix. And the idea is oh, that's a bit of feedback I want to share with GitKraken. Sorry. So yeah, right. Like when I'm entering a commit message, I want to hit enter, and it submits. Right. All right. So yeah, that would be some good feedback. Yeah, exactly, Kenny. I mean, this is just something we need. Like, we're still iterating on and fixing this whole damn thing. We got to do it, right? And again, for anyone curious about the tool and anyone that wants to help me out, if you could click that link and give it a download and give it a try, if you're doing any of this like AI orchestration, whatever, let me know. It's pretty cool. The fact that we have like a Kanban board or a console to where like, you know, you can see these things side by side, right? You can like resize these things as you see fit and blah, blah, blah. Like technically I'm zoomed in a lot, but you know, there's like a lot of ways you can view and do these things. You know, it's trying to fit the way you like to work. I think there's a lot of cool features, and we need your feedback. We need to make it as good as it can possibly be. Oh, and then Rich, don't forget all my YouTube subs. Yeah, you're right, man. I should copy and paste that link. 1 second. Anyone over on the YouTube? Let me see if I can even do this. Oh, I think I have to do it. Hold on. I need to log in with the right account over on the other browser. So yeah, give me a second. Let me share that link over there too. There we go. Oh, wait. Wait, did that didn't post? What the fuck? Why is it posting as not me? YouTube. The YouTube Studio experience is so fucking broken. Let me at least show you why I'm like really bummed on YouTube at the moment. So yeah, we do that, we show that, but here we go. This is what I see in my YouTube Studio right now. That something went wrong is where YouTube chat should be. And that's where I would normally paste the link to give y'all. YouTube really needs to stop vibe coding that shit. Dude, software has gotten so bad these days. I don't fucking get it. It's like people just don't give a shit anymore. And you're saying on that website it's broken? Wait, really? At what screen size are you having that issue? Is there like more you can do? Like, I don't know. I'm not sure I can reproduce it. Okay. Are you on Windows or something? If so, that's your fault. Oh, you're on Linux. Oh, could you screenshot it? Yeah, if you could screenshot that and upload it to something like Imager, that would be great. Yeah, that'd be awesome. And I'll share that with the company. Yeah, that'd be awesome. Thanks, Kenny. I think we also have a weird thing here, right? Like, I guess, hold up, if you're on a tablet or mobile, right, Kepler doesn't work for those. So that makes sense why we would show just the pro trial thing. I get it. That makes sense. Like, why make it mobile responsive that way? So yeah, okay. I was about to say like, oh, they need a proper front end web dev, but honestly, that's probably the right approach. All right, so then, yeah, archive, update benchmark cards. I'm a little surprised it, at least in one case, it did the right one. Uh, ooh, and thank you, Kenny. And hold on, is it okay if I keep saying Kenny, or do you really, really prefer Kenneth? Because I don't remember if I've actually asked you that before. I may have asked you and I just forgot. You used to have Kenny. It's fine, you don't care. All right, just want to make sure. All right, so those are spinning. Let's close some of these. I think those were good fixes. We got at least a couple more fixes I want to kick off. How are we doing on our... Hold on, let me check this. Wait, where the fuck is this? Here we go. How are we doing on our weekly usage? We got 70% remaining. Honestly, I really like that they did away with the session usage thing and just made it weekly. This is fucking awesome. I think that's really nice for people that maybe are paying for whatever plan and only have maybe 1 or 2 days a week where they can really like go hard on using their personal fucking subscription. I think this was a really awesome like user focused fix. Just making it weekly and calling it good. I think Codex really cooked on that. And what up, Zerk? How you doing? So yeah, let's copy this link. Let's share that with work. Oh, yeah, that is gross. Oh, shit. Yeah, man. That sucks. So save image as. We'll do it to, sure, downloads. Let's show it. Oh, hold on. Let me share. AirDrop. Have I used Claude Code recently? No, I haven't. I quit the Anthropic subscription ages ago, just because I don't like supporting their anti-consumer behavior of like limiting what things you can use like Claude in. I think that's really anti-consumer and anti-user, and I can just vote with my fucking wallet. I refuse to fucking subscribe to Anthropic in any way whatsoever until they just let you use your subscription how you see fit. I think that's really just user hostile. Now, if you're at a company, yeah, it gives you Claude, not OpenAI. Like, yeah, I get it. I get it. That's a bummer. I don't know what to tell you, though. Yeah, that shit sucks. But maybe you should be talking with management about that. Why are they picking a thing that doesn't have a clear fucking, like, why would they pick a thing that doesn't have a clear fucking moat over a thing that allows you to work the way you want to work? I wanted to like Anthropic because they told the government to kick sand. But at this point, I don't know. It feels kind of bullshitty. Well, I get it, Zerk. All you can do is voice your grievance. Don't expect them to change and don't be a dick about it. But if you don't say something, nothing will ever change. I'm not saying something will change if you do say something, but if you don't say something, it definitely won't change. Right? See something, say something. Sorry. All right, so let me try and share this again. AirDrop. Yeah, exactly, Swiss tourist. Like, literally, Anthropic does not give a fuck about you. Right? Ugh, we got these customers asking us for things again. Ugh. That's what it feels like, That's really what it feels like. Oh, you complained about a thing, so I guess we'll do something. Dude, you wouldn't be a business without customers. Why are you so fucking customer hostile? Yeah, for some reason, I am not able to do anything with this. So let me show you what I'm seeing. Like, this shit's like grayed out. I don't know what that even means. Let me just drag it to, like, I don't know, desktop or something. Now if I do it, right, do a share, AirDrop. How the fuck is that not working right now? There we go. Just had to turn it off and on again. All right, so hold on. Let me share this with work. No, Kenny, no, you didn't do shit, man. Nah, you didn't do shit. Nah, that's a fucking problem. It's just dude, as a front end dev, I know immediately it's a fucking Flexbox issue. It's a fucking Flexbox issue. I've dealt with so many of these fucking bugs. It's a Flexbox issue. Not anything you're fucking doing. And it's possibly not even Flexbox, but like some absolute positioning bullshit. Like there's definitely, it's just a CSS fucking problem. It's a CSS problem. Yeah, not your fault whatso fucking ever. All right, so real quick, let's do this. We'll add all of it. Stage all. Sure. Archive. Quadrant. Spec. Hold on, wait. Nope. Nope. All right. So yeah, I can't control enter. I can't alt enter. So then if I push, what? There's no way. Well, hold on. Yeah, I think I forgot to change it to mine as the default push. So that's on me. Mine and then quadrant. Yep. Okay, so that goes up. Dismiss. Call that good. So then, yeah, I say we archive. Well, hold on. Let's wait till we pull it in. And then similarly, same idea. Stage all. Chore. And let me bring this so you guys can read it, actually. And let me just double check chat over here. I think we're good. And man, I do want a third whiskey. Oh, you're saying if you messed up on the screenshotting? Nah, dude, that was fine. Nah, you like the fact that it wouldn't transfer. That was a Bluetooth issue. Like, nah, you're good, man. All right, so then Shore archive benchmark index page fix spec. I really want enter to do that for me. Did I do it right? No, I fucked that one up too. That's on me. Mine main. Oh, it's because we already committed this one. Shore archive. Actually, let's do this. Wait a minute. Did I actually do mine? Oh. There we go. And then this one, git push. All right, so we pushed that. That got pushed. That got pushed. So now all right, so we're good. Git pull mine. Nailed it. Just to be sure. Oh, not origin. Mine main. I should not have pushed main yet. Oh. Mine main. Okay, cool. And then git bench stuff. Oh, nice. Git push origin main. All right, cool. So that will, like, all those changes we just made will be live within the next like minute or two. Fuck yeah, dude. So yeah, we got some good work done. Let's continue. I think I got at least like 10 to 20 minutes. Let's think about what we're doing. Um all right, cool. And yeah, we're doing a third whiskey. I've been capping it at 2. I don't mind having a third before some gaming. We're not going to overdo it. Theoretically. I like a whiskey. The goal is to cut down, which I think we're doing. But there is no virtue without temptation. Right? I consider cold turkey actually easier. We don't have the fucking lion tamed until we can have a few and not go overboard. So let's continue. Let me get more music going. We haven't heard this in fucking ages. I love this album. This is good. I know it's got some lyrics, but we'll allow it. I'm gonna pour some tea into this beverage because I don't feel like getting up and getting water right now. And we should at least like wrap up stream with the stuff we're doing for Masijo. Ooh, the tea actually makes the whiskey heavier. Okay, so the person that was shouting out chat GPT issues, hold up. Yeah, the chat GPT outage actually seems closer to like a Cloudflare or an AWS outage, right? Like everything is spiking. Yeah, I don't know, man. I love the fact that some of these like internet providers just always have people reporting issues. They will never hit a fucking baseline of 0. It's like statistically impossible for an ISP to have that problem. So Swiss tourists, yeah, but what we're getting at is these are different issues. The API access to GPT 5.5 and 5.6, we've had full access to it, no problem. These other issues actually seem more likely to be like CDN type issues. And you wouldn't be hitting CDN problems with direct API access to GPT 5.5, right? In my opinion, a lot of this feels like CDN issues. I mean, I don't know for sure. I'm just speculating. I'm just guessing, right? I don't know for sure. I have no idea. But in general, when we do see these kinds of spikes, it's probably not like a direct connection to an API kind of problem, which would hint that it's probably not AWS and it was probably a Cloudflare thing, right? Because Cloudflare has a much harder time being a proxy for backend shit. It could have been a DNS level problem, which I still think like we would have seen from the API level. So in my opinion, it feels like a CDN problem. Whether it's AWS or Cloudflare, I don't know. But it feels like a CDN problem more than anything. I don't know for sure. I'm speculating. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. But do we think that like Codex or any of these like CLI tools are going through CDNs? Nah, they're probably just going straight to the API, right? So I would not suspect DNS at that point because the API still has to resolve the domain, right? So at that point, yes, if the APIs are still working and it's just front end shit that people complain about, then it really does feel like CDN. At which point, I think we are probably blaming Cloudflare, but you know, CloudFront could always be the issue too. I haven't actually dabbled in it, but I feel like there's a way to do like fallback CDN stuff. Do we think that's actually a thing, or do we just think they're like doing a manual switch? Just based on the latency of it, it feels like it's probably a manual switch, or it like the downtime was just that like, you know, that momentary. I don't know for sure. I'm purely guessing. I don't have any more information than y'all have. I don't know. The fact that EA is still experiencing issues is interesting. So what do we think EA is doing wrong? To where like they just get escalating issues over time and it doesn't resolve as quick as something like you know, the snapshot of failure from other things. Or maybe it's a reporting problem, right? The moment someone hits an OpenAI error, they just like go and do something else. Whereas like gamers constantly try to reconnect because they got to play their game. I don't know. I would imagine like gaming has a harder like stampeding herd problem to solve than some of these other things do. And when I say stampeding herd, some people might not understand what I mean by that. So the idea is that when a service goes down, your users will just keep hitting that refresh button, right? Or at least like the platform or tool that they're using is continuously doing the refresh. So then, right, the more people you have trying to connect within a window, the more you have a problem of like scale all of a sudden, right? So at some point, like certain services will fail because too many clients are trying to reconnect at the same time. And then that just causes like cascading failures beyond that. And I feel like games actually have that problem more so than a service that you manually refresh, right? I feel like a lot of games are just like hardwired to do a bunch of fetch requests and like recurring fetch shit over time to where like they actually have the stampeding herd problem way worse. But I don't know. All right, so yeah, your Codex CLI is hitting blah 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 and blah blah blah, both being Cloudflare. And interestingly, some CDN dash GitHub things, which is unexpected because no GitHub connection intended, must be the repo of Codex. Sure, maybe. Okay. And I feel like anyone remember when the Primogen was doing that the sponsored stream that he did for Zephyr Cloud? And I just actually like watched this video earlier today because I was like, showing it off to like people from GitKraken for a reason that I don't necessarily want to dox right now. And yeah, he submitted via SSH instead of HTTP. and he was able to get that shit to work, right? So if that's not something you're aware of, submit via SSH instead of HTTP when you can, right? Opting for SSH by default in your Git config is actually way more stable. It sounds crazy, but it's fucking true. Right? It's just a different fucking mechanism of connecting. It does have to deal with some DNS stuff, but it doesn't have to deal with the same exact things. Right? All internal is SSH only. Yeah. In many cases, when you have to do things with like commit signing and other bullshit, yeah, SSH only is like almost required by most IT departments. Yeah, in general, you should probably be opting for SSH only via your global Git config. There's very rare cases where you should prefer HTTP. Like, very rare. Just throwing that out there if you didn't know. Yeah. I'm almost positive you have to do it for commit signing. Like, I'm not even sure how that would work over HTTP. I don't know for sure. I have no idea, but I feel like if you're doing commit signing, you have to go through SSH. I don't have any data to back that up. It's just a feeling I get. I feel like I might have read some docs about that, but I totally just forgot it because why would you memorize something like that? Unless you have to. But okay, so let's continue. Let's maybe like wrap up what we're doing here. And the reason I was like checking that stuff is because we hit a TZ data updater failing. I feel like I only ever see that when like major networking problems happen. Right? So Cloudflare, just some fucking backbone of the internet like failing. All right, let's just try this again and see what happens. I don't think we fully like fixed the bug because we were focused on some Git bench stuff, and I gotta do Git bench stuff tonight for sure. I do have the whiskey in me, so maybe I just go to sleep early and I accomplish that shit tomorrow early. We'll see how it goes later tonight on gaming stream. Like, this will be absolutely the last whiskey of the day. I can just smoke weed. But I have been deprived of sleep by a couple hours over the past couple days. It would be nice to maybe get a full night's sleep to catch up. So then, yeah, tomorrow, work day. But yeah, we'll see. We'll see how it goes. I have this like this PDF document to send as like an analysis of the Git bench stuff we're doing. You know, you'll sign up via email and then we'll send you the analysis PDF. And it's got some really good shit in it. You've heard me talk a little bit about it. I'm not trying to gate it for you. The biggest things are like, dude, I'll even share that. Like, I'm not trying to bullshit anybody. Let me just try and share like the notes that I got. I don't know if it's like on a shared monitor. Let me try and do it from memory. Effort doesn't always mean better results. And there's a bunch of use cases that we screenshot and show in the doc about that. Frontier models are not always like the right choice. There are super cheap models you could use instead. What's another one? There was like 5 of them. Fuck. Yeah, I can't remember. Anyway, that album's good. Let's get another one going. We are approaching the time where I should start thinking about dinner. So let me at least get like an album or song to like play us out. Yeah. I feel like this is a good moment. Old models can be the right choice for certain things. Yeah, exactly, Kenny. Like when you're doing stuff that I'm doing, you know, like GPTOSS 120B is solid, man. It's really good at just like language-based shit. So yeah, let's go find someone to raid. All right, so who do we go raid? And yeah, dude, the dudes want to play some games, so let's figure that out real quick. Who is streaming right now? We see L Clonk. We'll go raid L Clonk, even though it's been like 5 raids of him in which he has never raided us back. Come on, man. There's got to be a quid pro quo, right? Dude, the guy we raided yesterday was fucking awesome. Yeah, for sure. I like to mix it up, though. And I like to give a little benefit of the doubt. Maybe L Clonk will be a dude eventually. We'll see. We'll see. I've met him in person. He's nice enough in person. But also, I don't know. So maybe at TwitchCon I call him out for it. But no need to be a dick about it right now. Please, nobody mention it. It's a thing I think about. He probably doesn't think about it. That's fine. And he does different programming, so like, yeah, maybe he has a fucking stigma against web devs or something. I don't know, man. Whatever. He's a nice enough dude in person, though. He's really cool. So, we're going to go raid L Clonk. I'm going to bid farewell to the Twitter and the YouTube. Thank you all for hanging out. You guys are just awesome. Appreciate you. So, later Twitter, later YouTube.